So there we go. Good. Okay, we are live. That is fantastic. Thank you for letting me know, YouTube. Cool. All right, we got a great video for y'all today. We are going to be talking about mental health and well-being, and also how to crush your enemies, how to stack their skulls into a big pyramid shape, and take what's yours in this life. Stop being such a pussy. Okay? All right. So, but before we go into that, we're going to talk about the Valsalva squeeze, the simultaneous squeeze, and you know how it goes. It's where you're going to take a big deep breath in, a huge inhale of air, of delicious oxygen. You're going to take another sip of air, like force feed your body with even more oxygen than you think you can take. Then you're going to hold it. You're going to squeeze it with your chest, your diaphragm, and your stomach. You're going to squeeze it in. You're going to create this like force field of energy around your body. You're going to zap your vagus nerve to unleash the fire within. And then after 5 seconds of that, then you're going to slowly exhale, especially so you don't let the Kundalini energy escape your body. Because if you hold that for too long, it might be pretty intense. Okay? So ready? In 3, 2, 1, here we go. Sip of air. Hold and squeeze. And slowly exhale. Wow. I feel very amazing. I feel spiritual, if I'm being honest with you. There's only really one way to say it. It's a spiritual feeling. I think it's literally because I did my ultra priming already a few hours ago before I went to the gym. So this is actually not the first time I've had this experience today. And we're going to talk about that, how you can get that deep, developed feeling of like, wow, through a thing that you can do at home, which is amazing. So, in the world of health and wellness, finding effective methods to promote your mental well-being has always been a top priority, right? What goes on in here can oftentimes dictate how this feels. So one groundbreaking offering that you can only find through me or through Tony Robbins in one of his live events, but only through me, you can get it through VR, is called Ultra Priming on Virtual Reality, or on VR. And this unique thing, this unique combo, is paving the way for the most powerful and the most impactful mindset reprogramming system available today in the world. By combining traditional vagus nerve stimulation techniques with a tailored and guided setting, Ultra Priming on VR offers users an unparalleled experience that can result in profound shifts in physiology, mindset, and autonomic function within minutes. It's that incredible, truly. Nothing really compares. And when I see people saying, oh, this is the best thing I've ever done for other, an app, you got an app on the App Store, no way it could compare. No way in hell could an app that costs you 99 cents on the App Store is going to compare. Oh, I did a check-in. It asked me, what's my goal in life? Oh, and that's the most powerful mindset retraining thing that I've ever done in my life. Whoa. Clearly you haven't done that much, just being honest. But as we know, the vagus nerve is the wandering nerve. It plays a crucial role all throughout regulating your various bodily functions, such as your heart rate, your blood pressure, your digestion, and even your mood. when it's stimulated, this single nerve can have a significant impact on our overall well-being. Now, traditional vagus nerve stimulation techniques involve applying electrical impulses to specific areas of the body, like the ear or the neck, to activate the nerve. But this method that we're talking about today has shown promising results in drastically improving various mental health conditions that can give rise to depression and anxiety. And might I add, cynicism, right? Because as I was doing my VR priming today, I was reminded that in being such a publicly viewed figure, there are a lot of fantastic people that I encounter. People who come to these videos and people who engage in the content and, who really do have a deep appreciation for some of the work that we're doing here. And then there are some people that you will encounter on the internet who are just so full of shit, who have their heads so far up their own asses that they can't even shut up for a minute and listen. They have to go on about their own bullshit. And, you can smell their bullshit from a million miles away. And you read it on page and you're like, oh my fucking God. Oh my fucking God. Right? So that takes a toll over time, right? Collectively, since I started the Vagus Nerve Stimulation and Repair Program Facebook group, I've been on the internet every single day for 6 years. And throughout that time, I've made friends with some incredible people. It's given me some fantastic opportunities, but it's also gotten me in touch with just some of the most despicable, disgusting, rude, narcissistic motherfuckers on the planet who are just like can't seem to get their own feet out of their own ass, and they post on the internet. And if I'm gonna be honest with you, here's the real honest truth, and some of you gender people are gonna get really upset with me. It's fucking men, okay? It's these god mother damn fucking men on the fucking internet who are looking to pick a fight with you at any goddamn motherfucking thing you say. And they will try to be basically, it feels like there are some men who scour the internet looking to be the biggest steaming pile of human shit that they can be to another human being for just expressing like something, right? For instance, I was in a Facebook group, another Facebook group on SIBO, right? Small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And a woman asked, what's the best way to get rid of biofilm? And I said, ultrasound, red light, and turmeric, right? Because we developed a protocol for this in the group. Yes, Sarah, I don't know. I mean, to a degree, I think people can be born with it, but you can get better, right? You can get better from being that much of a piece of shit. Some guy named Scott or something like that, responded he's like, well, make sure you do fasting. And when you do fasting, you want to include vinegar and olive oil, responding to my post, not making his own separate thing, about biofilms. I was like, ultrasound, red light, and a staining agent for the biofilm kills the biofilm. This guy couldn't make his own comment about the benefits of fasting, which are in doubt. He responded to mine, tagged me, got into a mini battle of wits over fucking fasting when it had nothing to do with the fucking question. And this is like the most consistent experience I've ever had, is that there are, yeah, right, Jada, you're right. Men make up 99% of stalkers, of weirdos, of anti-Semitism, of fucking misogyny. There are some of the biggest human piles of fucking crap that I've ever encountered on the internet. It makes me sometimes go, I hope that today that I don't have to encounter another one of these big gobbing pieces of shit. Like, seriously, right? And they are just everywhere. It is insane. So I don't know. Since I'm not on CNN, right? And I don't think I would never go on CNN because fuck CNN. But like I mainly try to cater as much as I can to like nice people, not like people who are respectful, aren't trying to like get their thing like jammed into every fucking conversation. That's like, yo, like take a step back. Anyway, so that yeah, right, Lori? I know, right? So yeah, I know. I am saying I'm dropping a ton of bombs, but like this shit weighs down on you if you don't address it. And um and this was the thing, every time I go into the ultra priming, every time I do the VR session, there's something there to digest. There's something really there to think about, to reflect on. And I'm like, yeah, like there can be this heavy, draining energy that you encounter from putting your stuff on the internet and having these, like, again, I'm not trying to like stereotype anybody, but it's mostly like shitty men on the internet who are looking to like take you down a notch. We know what the fuck they're doing. And if you call them out on it, they're not going to admit to it, right? Can we admit that they are not going to accept that they are being a piece of shit? So it's just up to us to observe and go, yeah, that guy's being a complete piece of shit. And you encounter that, and it develops this cynicism. And at the end of the day, I'm like, sometimes it develops this pain to have to go and post on the interwebs every day just to step in it. And then you go, but on the other hand, what I'm doing for people that are getting help is amazing, and so it's still worth it. And so you can lose sight of that, and you get into this headspace where you forget about your real, true gratitude process and all this stuff that needs to unfold in your life. So I just have such deep realizations right through this VR process, this ultra priming process that I go through. It's fucking awesome. So anyway, I think I tagged it, but yeah, so next session. I love it that you ladies are saying hey to each other. This is fantastic. It's a girls club here, right? That's fucking awesome. So anyway, so let's talk about why I think this is kind of a revolutionary method. So if we think about vagus nerve stimulation from where it is currently, let's understand that there's this saying that any technology that is suitably advanced will seem like magic to those who are not on that same level, right? So the funny thing is for all who are watching, for all those watching and those who are using ultrasound VNS, right? In some way, we've probably introduced you to that concept. To an uninitiated person, seeing what happens to you, right? A family member, a friend, a person in your community, to observe the changes that happen during that time that you stimulate your vagus nerve in this way, it is actually relatively difficult for them to understand what the hell is happening. And so it's very easy for them to almost wave it off as some kind of a magical thing. Like, oh, this is like magic or woo-woo. It's like crystals or whatever. But it's not. And so we have to understand that the vast majority of people who are throwing around the phrase vagus nerve stimulation are still in the headspace of like, well, if you take a Q-tip and you put it in your ear and you twist it, that's stimulating your vagus nerve. Or I saw a great post the other day. A woman said, if you take your tongue and you put it on the roof of your mouth in the soft palate, that can stimulate your vagus nerve. Guys, I want you to try that right now. Take your tongue and put it on the roof of your mouth. It's pretty difficult. Don't let your tongue go in the back. And then rub it around. Yeah, keep on doing it. Are you feeling it yet? This is literally a comment that I saw on one of my videos from a couple years ago, where I do the basic exercise where I'm trying to get the people to yawn, right? Move your eyes to the left, move your eyes to the right, makes you yawn. When I move my eyes to the left or the right, I immediately feel like I'm going to yawn. That's how strengthened my vagus nerve is, right? Yeah, I feel it, not really. I mean, I don't really know what I'm supposed to feel with that, but apparently, if you keep on doing this, your vagus nerve is going to get stimulated. So, gosh, my face looks so ugly trying to do that. I totally get it. But, this is what 90% of people that are posting on the internet who are like, oh my God, I just heard about this thing called vagus nerve stimulation. It's awesome. It is bizarre. It does look funny, and I do apologize. Hey, it's Sunday. It's not a work day. I don't really give a shit. You can tell by how much I'm swearing today. I just don't care. But yeah, you feel the top of your mouth. It's soft, it's warm, it's wet. It's there, but I'm not really getting like an effect at it, and certainly I know that if I went back in time to if I went back and if I sent a text message or called up all of my former clients that have done ultrasound vagus nerve stimulation, I said, I'm like, hey, Chris, Jeannie, guess what? I was wrong this whole time. This whole thing we've been talking about, stimulating your vagus nerve cervically with a piece of technology that tangibly, like, directly stimulates the neurons of your vagus nerve. I had it wrong the whole time. I just read this post in a Facebook group, actually in my Facebook group. This woman, she said that if I take my tongue and I rub the top of my mouth on the soft palate, that is going to stimulate your vagus nerve. So my apologies. I think we've been doing it all wrong this whole time. No, that's never going to happen, right? So for the most part, where we're at, right, with using the technology aspect is like so many light years ahead of what even people think is possible here. And that is like literally where people are at. Okay. That is where like the vast majority of people in the ecosystem kind of are operating from. So that's just to give you an example of the framework as well of how I think about when people talk about mindset, right? I am shocked at what the kind of stuff that's out there that's claiming to be like mindset work, right? There was a friend, totally respect her completely. She posted an app that she took, and it's like an Apple iPhone app where you do like a check-in every week, and you put a journal entry in, and you write down how you feel, and it talks about emotions, and I don't know, you pay like a 99 cents per month or something like this. And like, again, you'll for someone who's never done anything like that, to have that be a thing, for them, the jump from 0 to 1 could be like, whoa, right? Wow. So, it's like I kind of wish I could go back in time to be myself the first time I saw a movie as a little baby boy, because I would have been like, whoa, that's so cool. Now I watch movies and I go, oh, okay, so there's the plot line, and there's the antagonist and the protagonist, and this is going to happen, and then this is going to happen. I watch a movie now in a completely different way. I have a very much more analytical process for looking at that. Whereas a movie as a child is like, that's amazing, right? Yeah, right. No, I know. Well, Lori, I did post that before. I've made a post that said something like that, where I said, it is depressing to be where I'm at, because there are so many people out there who could potentially benefit from what we do here in the group and some of the concepts that we talk about, who just because of the spread of information through social media, and how it is rather limited by the algorithm, because the algorithm would rather give you videos of squishing goo or slime or eating candy or whatever the fuck is out there, right? Wow, somebody fucking did whatever kind of bullshit, whatever this kind of TikTok stuff is, right? The algorithm is going to push that much further into the popular consciousness than they'll ever push like vagus nerve stimulation, right? So I wake up every day going, I'm like a Sisyphean builder. I'm pushing a rock up a big hill. I'm pushing a boulder up a big hill, and every time then I stop for a day, that boulder rolls back to the very beginning, and I have to get up and push it again and again and again. And so that can kind of suck. So one time I did make a post, and I said, as I know that there are millions of people out there who could very much benefit from this kind of stuff that we do, like there are people out there who are suffering realistically, who, if they could try what we do here, or if they could learn about it in some small way, their life could tangibly change in an extraordinary way. And it's kind of depressing, right? It is kind of a sad thought. But at the time, I had bought myself an ice cream machine, which is called a Ninja Creamy, which you can spin up ice cream, and it makes some of the best homemade ice cream ever. I love this machine. And so I posted a picture with me going, some of you might remember it, and I said, but at least I have ice cream, and those people, again, they'll find us eventually, and that's how it goes. There was guess what? There was a couple negative comments in there, a lot of positive things saying, yeah, I know it's crazy. Like, good, healthy stuff doesn't penetrate through the internet as much as drama or celebrity gossip or whatever. Um, One person in particular, I won't mention their gender. I'm just going to let you guess were they male or were they female? And they said, "You are the most evil human I've ever met on the entire internet for even posting that. You piece of shit." Just like the most nasty comment for me literally admitting that, like, I am not good enough to spread the word to the 100 million people on the internet. And this is a depressing experience to be in, knowing that what we can do is so good. And while that sucks, while most people may even be in the group and never take action to get the help that they need, that while I could sit around being depressed, at least I have ice cream. This guy made this sick comment, this nasty comment. Now, of course, I blocked him and I didn't respond to it. And that's generally a policy. Is just like, what am I even gonna try to convince this person of? They just have a nasty thing going on, right? But yeah, I mean, so anyway, can you guess? Were they male or were they female? Which one do you think? So anyway, in terms of the revolution here is that when it comes to mindset, right? When it comes to mindset, we have things like, obviously, like the Hour of Power, but we also have things like the ultra priming on virtual reality. And virtual reality is such a big difference between, I have my app, right? I have my app for whatever that would be. Oh, my mindset app. Oh, okay. I'm going to check in with my mindset, right? Not a bad thing, but if you're going from 0 to 1, that's like the most revolutionary thing. But once you go from 1 to 2, from 2 to 10, how far up can you go? And I want, for me, it's important to always find the best of the best of the best. What is the top way that you can do this, right? What's the best way to explore this mindset game? And through the years, I've basically tailored a cutting edge approach that incorporates virtual reality, full immersive content, right? Whereas Hour of Power is immersive through the auditory experience, right? You're immersing your entire auditory channels. And I encourage you to go immerse yourself out in nature. Go outside and walk or do something physical when you're doing it. But for what we do in ultra priming, some of those things you can't walk around. Some of the practices that we do in ultra priming in the first few minutes can be so powerful, so profound, that you will have to be sitting down to experience it, because it gives you such a boom, like an impact in your body that is like what you get out of the simultaneous squeeze, but in the context of spirit and singing and breathing and energy work and gratitude and pre-visualization. And then what's displayed in your visual field are vignettes of memories from the past and memories that you have yet to make in your life. Memories to be. Beautiful imagery of loving couples, of grandparents, of grandchildren, of traveling, of kayaking, of visiting Paris, of running through a field with your children with kites and balloons. And just, again, it's this stream of content, visually speaking, that literally rewires the music, the voice, the experience, the breathing, the stimulation of your vagus nerve, So in that moment, it is a visceral, highly engaging process that you go through. It is literally insane. It is an insane experience that I do believe is a revolutionary approach to mindset, right? But again, this is the kind of thing that would seem like absolute magic because, and it's hard for people to wrap their minds around it, right? When most of what people consider mindset are these like dinky little $37 programs that you bought on a Facebook marketplace ad, which is like from, like Susan Ornorthery on the PQ method for mindset, right? Oh, and I'm sure she's got a great story. I'm sure, she's got a fantastic story about how she fell ill and she realized the advantage of mindset work, and she was in India and she had this Buddhist spiritual experience, and so whatever, this kind of stuff. So that's the majority of like mindset work, is a book or an app. When you start strapping a virtual reality headset onto your brain, on your eyes, and you start doing the video and auditory work, I mean, again, you are literally poof. It's the same jump, right? The virtual reality, the revolutionary aspect of ultra priming when it comes to mindset is the distance between saying vagus nerve stimulation and that being put your tongue on the roof of your mouth as vagus nerve stimulation versus doing ultrasound direct stimulation of your vagus nerve, right? Which is a clear-cut experience of VNS. The difference is an order of magnitude in terms of effect and powerful treatment and what it can do for you long term. The difference in ultra priming, right? When we talk about just like mindset, the difference between what most people enter into that mindset quotient. Oh, I'm already doing mindset. Oh, I'm already doing vagus nerve stimulation. See, I found that if I put my tongue on the roof of my mouth, that I'm doing vagus nerve stimulation. And like for everybody watching who already knows, most of you are doing ultrasound, wouldn't you be like, are you fucking nuts, dude? You think that I mean, first and foremost, you want to be respectful, but in the back of your mind, you have to be going, dude, holy fuck. Like, no, no, that is not it. There's so much more in store for you than your tongue on the roof of your mouth to stimulate your vagus nerve, right? You would be having a fit. If you know what's possible, you would be like, honey, girl, no way. Like, that is not cutting it. So it's literally the same thing I see with mindset for apps, or mindset on a book, or mindset on a even a $200, mindset neuro retraining DNRS program. Is the difference between that versus what ultra priming is. Again, it's that I have that same visceral reaction, like, oh my God, this is what you think that is? Like, this is actually what you believe is the best. I mean, best for you, because you probably just don't have that full range of experience for it, but not the best, not even close, right? So this, again, this is that huge shift, this quantum jump, right? Laura, you're completely right? I always recommend, don't be judgmental, be nice to people, meet them where they're at, because we all do have different journeys. You're so right? You know that better than anybody. I know that. So with ultra priming, the thing that sets it apart is that it's fully immersive. It's a combination of specifically hand-selected, tailored, and guided processes that take you through vagus nerve stimulation practices, but also retraining your visual cortex, your auditory cortex, and your visceral somatosensory cortex as well. This creates the opportunity to transform your mental state rapidly, right? I know people talk about rapid transformational therapy, or RTT. VR is as rapid as it gets, right? It is the nuclear atomic bomb going into your cerebral cortex and exploding out all the bullshit, right? This is why I started this by talking about the muck, the detritus, the just sick attitude that you can find on the internet does add up. And I, don't know so much if an app on your phone is enough to propel it. And the sick thing about it is that the whole reason, here's a really key insight here. The whole reason these people come at you so hard is because they are literally trying to enforce different behavior. They are trying to control and manipulate you by making you feel like such a dumb piece of shit for even thinking it, because that is the control and the power that they believe that they have. And for the most part, if the person on the receiving end doesn't have their own mechanisms of clearance, then that shit works, right? Yeah, exactly. People are I was going to say buzz washing you with brain words. Maybe that's right too, but they are brainwashing you with buzzwords through the internet, through your screen, through text. It's typically men who are trying, I don't know if I want to use the word gaslighting here, but they are doing something, right? And the most pernicious part of it is that it happens so much. It's a stab through the internet, through your eyes, into your brain, into your belief systems, that you don't even start to realize how deep that needle has penetrated past your vision. And it starts to needle itself down further and further and further into your brain. It'll start to make you less hopeful. It'll make you more cynical. It does some very disgusting things to people. And the one thing that I've found in my ecosystem of tools to create that atomic EMP burst to get that shit out, right? Because you need to actively clear it out, is ultra priming, is the stuff that we do on ultra priming. So I'm going to talk about a couple ways that I think we're going to do a live event for active clients so that we can do this with you guys in a Zoom room. So this will be in a few weeks from now. So I do want to announce that. So I'll be making an announcement for that. It'll be kind of similar to how we've done the 5-day challenge. It'll just be 3 days. We've done this in the past before, but we're going to be doing a vagus nerve priming 3-day mega event just for active clients, right? And for those who have the VR priming system already, you're going to be able to actually put the VR on while we're doing it. For those who don't have the VR, we'll be playing it in full screen as a screen share for you on your computer. So we encourage you to wear headphones. You'll get the full experience, right? We'll encourage you to dim the lights a little bit so you're not being blasted with daylight. So we can actually help you replicate as close to the VR experience as possible through this. So we will be doing that very soon. But yeah, anybody who does ultra priming can expect to witness profound shifts in your physiology, mindset, and autonomic function. So thank you so much for tuning in. I do have to conclude here, right? So in conclusion, right, when we look at the extraordinary power of VR, what sets it apart is just how powerful it is, right? 10 minutes of ultra priming on VR is probably the equivalent to 100 hours of mindset work in any other context, especially if you're considering what most people are doing, which is, I'm just going to use the unit of the phone, right? 1 unit minute of phone time mindset work is the unit, right? So 10 minutes of ultra priming units, right? So 1 minute of ultra priming is worth 100 hours of mindset work on the phone unit. That is the huge difference, right? Now, the same ratio type of situation exists when we go and look at VNS, right? So 1 unit, 1 minute of taking your tongue and rubbing the roof of your mouth, that's 1 minute of tongue, like roof of your mouth tonguing for vagus nerve stimulation, versus ultrasound, 1 minute vagus nerve stimulation cervically, right? How, if I really have to think, how many minutes in a row, how many sequential minutes, how long would I need to sit my butt down and rub the roof of my mouth with my tongue? How many units of that would I need to do to get the equivalent of what I feel with 1 minute of ultrasound VNS? I almost think you'd be looking at like 60 minutes to 90 minutes potentially. I mean, guys, can you seriously imagine that being the entry point? I'm going to rub the top of my mouth with my tongue. This is a comment that I saw in my Facebook group. Somebody giving advice. Oh, did you know that if you just rub the top of your mouth with your tongue, that's a vague way to stimulate your vagus nerve? She's not completely wrong. I mean, there is a part of your vagus nerve that goes to your soft palate, but I don't know, man. I'm not feeling it. No, I only had coffee today in the morning. So, no, I'm seriously, Lori, I did ultra priming today, right? So it literally it does some crazy shit to you. It really, really does. It's really good. So yeah, anyway, so the combination of those put on VR is like freaking incredible. So, what I will do is post here in the chitty chat. So we do have a web page open. Yeah, sure, I'd love to rub mine for days/months. Yeah, that'd be, I would love to test that somehow. I mean, you'd be better off trying to induce gagging to stimulate your vagus nerve. You'd be way better off doing that than rubbing the roof of your mouth. I just don't fully get it. I gotta tell you, I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it so much. But can you imagine if somebody were in the Facebook group and were like, I have really just life-altering anxiety, and I need some tips. What can I do? What could I do to... I've heard vagus nerve stimulation really works. What could I do for that? And I was like, I got you, girl. I got you. Here's what you want to do. You're going to take your tongue and you're going to put it on the roof of your mouth, on the soft part, the part in the back of your throat, and just rub the tip of your tongue back and forth for as long as it takes, babe. You're going to feel so good. Anxiety is a thing of the past, homie. I don't think that would work. I just don't get the feeling that that's going to work. I just don't. Just sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, man. So anyway, but yeah. So anyway, I'm super stoked, but yeah, we will be doing a ultra priming, probably like a session in, I believe, about 3-ish weeks from this week. So when you come back from the summer vacation, hopefully summer vacation will be nice and done by the end of September, right? So we'll definitely, so I would encourage, I think Shar, you've been to one before. Lori, you might have been to one before. I'm not sure. Sarah definitely would like to invite you to that. You would get a lot out of that. TK as well. But yeah, so that'll be for active clients, especially. If anybody does join the program in the meantime, you can obviously be part of that. You can get access to the ultra priming resources, to watch the videos. And then also for those who want to upgrade and get the VR sent out, we actually have a bunch of people who just signed up, who upgraded into the VR from phase 1. We actually had someone 2 weeks ago sign up for phase 1, phase 2, and the VR all in the same go. They just said, let's just fucking do all of it, right? So, and she's like, was that the right choice? I was like, well, we're going to fix the fuck out of whatever's going on with you. I know that, right? Because if you graduate from 1 to 2 and you have the VR alongside that, boom. I mean, that is like perfect. It's the perfect playground for fixing so many issues, which I love it. So yeah, awesome. So Sarah, cool. Looking forward to it. I'll definitely be posting a lot more about that as we get closer to it. But yeah, super stoked. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's a Sunday. You got to get back to your whatever the heck you're doing today. Today I went to the gym. I went sprinting. I did my ultra priming. I did laundry, all kinds of stuff, right? And we'll kick it off again next week. So cool. Anyway, I think we'll end it there. I think we're already at about 52 minutes live. Thank you guys so much for watching. Much love. I'm not going to apologize for how many times I use the F word. Okay. If you don't like it, get over yourself. All right. It's 2023. Okay. That's how it goes. All right. And no, I'm not on drugs. I didn't take a bunch of coffee today. I did good stuff for my mind, and today's my emotional category of improvement. And I was like, I'm going to do ultra priming on VR. And I was just like, oh my fucking God. Yes. Woo. Yes. I feel so good. Wow. It's funny, most people don't ever feel that way. It's really sad. I'm like, how do you get through life not feeling like that? Like, not even life is really fucked up. You can go through life and never have that kind of experience, never have the kind of vibrance that I have right now. And people just take that as like, that's normal. Like, that's just fucking normal. I think that's sad. That's just kind of fucked up. Again, it's as fucked up as like when people lived in 1850. It was a difficult time, and they didn't know any better, right? You lived a difficult life, but nowadays we have access to so much. And I'm even a chronic. I had a ulcerative colitis, right? So if anybody wants to accuse me of, well, Sterling, you don't know what it's like, man. You've never been sick before. You don't have any issues with your health. And I'm like, Like, fuck, I haven't. I developed literally severe ulcerative colitis back in 2021. I've had to deal with medical problems that are substantially horrific. So, yeah, actually, uh, thank you. But yeah, I do actually know what it's like. And don't let your illness become an excuse for why you're going to become let yourself be a miserable, cynical piece of shit. Nobody cares, right? When there's somebody, yeah, exactly. Make life positive, no negativity, be grateful. It's so true, right? Um, Honestly, I think we'll end it on that one. Shar, thank you so much. You are the best. Um, I could go on and on and on, but yes, live a good life, be grateful, don't use your illness as an excuse. Certainly don't tell me I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, because I've been through some stuff, okay? I've been through it. I know what I'm talking about. All right, guys, thank you so much. Take care, and I'll see you guys soon. I will see you again tomorrow. Same time, same place. Take care of yourself.